They can't even make their publicity photos look positive. Fernando looking positively bemused by the situation, and Jenson, well, just looking a little bit depressed. Reflective of their 2015 season, really. It has been a year of learning and understanding for McLaren Honda. They didn't expect it to be this tough. Honda certainly didn't expect it to be this tough, but it has been. And it's been, I think, probably the most arduous season certainly those two guys have ever had to been through. And Jenson knows what it's like to go through a tough season. He's never had it run smooth for him for his entire career. He's had to take the high points and the low points. Arriving here in Brazil, of course, a place of such happy memories for him, where he won the championship. I thought that was kind of an important thing to ask him, really. You know, how has his experience of dealing with the rough times and the good times actually prepared him for what arguably has been the toughest season of his career to date? If we look back at your career, it's never run smoothly. You've had great years and you've had difficult, up and down. I remember the boys put a lighter in your car here to set the Honda on fire, but it did it itself at the end of the race. How important are those years, though, and knowing how to deal with disappointment to drag the team through what has been a very tough season?
Yeah, I mean, people come into Formula One at different points in their career and in teams that are competitive and not competitive, and for me it was less competitive. So when you actually first win a race, for me it means a lot more, because you've worked so hard to get there and you've gone through the pain and the struggle, and it's very special when you win. I've never seen so many grown men cry as when I first won in 2006, the whole team. So going through struggles, it's tough. None of us like it, but it's necessary sometimes to come out the other side stronger and to really learn who you are as a driver, but also a human being. And that's made a massive difference in my career. So it's made me a much stronger person.
Is it going to have the same effect with Honda, having to go through this difficulty? Will it make the power unit stronger next year for it? Yeah,
and I think it makes us all realise that this is not an easy sport to be involved with. You know, it's so competitive, and you're under the radar the whole time. You can't get away from the sport. You know, if you have an issue, everyone knows about it and wants to talk about it and wants to put you down, and it's really tough. And for a culture like the Japanese culture, it's very, very difficult for them. Sometimes it can be a big dishonour. So it's been a very difficult season, but they are so positive. They're working flat out, and they will make big changes next year. And as we will as a whole team, with McLaren as the car, and aerodynamically and mechanically, we need to improve everywhere, and that's exactly what we're doing.
In the continuing narrative of 2015, that man just gone past, Nico Rosberg, are locked in a fight for second in the championship. Hello, Valtteri. I don't think anybody, least of all Sebastian, expected to be fighting for second in the championship at the start of this season, but he is. Mexico, though, it's a big kick for him. That impact with Ricciardo on the first lap ultimately sent him into a spiral where he was overdriving to the point where he spun and then ultimately threw it into the barriers. As he said to the team once he crashed out, it wasn't his best weekend. So picking up from that, I just wanted to know, from inside a driver's head, is it possible to hit a reset button when things start to go wrong? How do you get yourself out of that spiral, or by the time you're in that spiral, is it already too late? Mexico, not your finest hour. How do you, as a racing driver, when things start to go wrong in a race like that, how do you bring yourself back from allowing it to spiral as it did in Mexico?
Well, it came to an end, so that's how I see it. And it's a new race here. So.
But how tough is it when you're in the cockpit? Because we don't know, we don't experience that. When something starts to go wrong and it all starts to unravel, how can you pull it back?
Obviously, the turn one was unfortunate. I don't think you can purposely give somebody a puncture. Equally, it was very, very tight, and unfortunately, I was the one with the puncture in the end. In turn one, I had to come back all the way. So, from that point onwards, the race was pretty much lost. Unfortunately, unlike other races, there was no safety car. Up to the point where I was the reason for the safety car to come out, but obviously from that point onwards we tried to come back. I was pushing as hard as I can, and did a mistake, so that's what happened.
Is it difficult to hit a reset button when you're in the heat of the moment in the car?
Obviously at that point I wasn't really fighting for, let's say, a fantastic position in the race, so there wasn't that much heat going on, other than me pushing as hard as I could, and yeah, I went too far.
Obviously, the battle with Nico over second in the championship. Do you think you can still take that, or is it now gone with that Mexican result?
It didn't help for sure, but the chance is there, so we have to keep pushing and keep believing.
Now, of course, Sebastian Vettel made contact with his former teammate Daniel Ricciardo at Mexico, sending him into that little spiral. Danny Rick doesn't really like this circuit, apparently. That's certainly what he said in his preview quotes. So I put that to him. Why doesn't he like this place? You said in your preview quotes you don't like this circuit. Why not?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Really? I think if I say that, or if I said that, sorry, it's probably more that there's not many corners. Like there's more exciting circuits. That's a fact. I don't think it's any driver's favourite circuit, but I think just because it's quite short, you throw in maybe 3 or 4 corners and then it gets a bit more exciting. But yeah, I mean, I don't dislike the circuit. I just think it's probably a bit simple. But yeah, I mean, if I win this weekend, it's probably going to be my favourite circuit. So that's how it works with drivers.
I know one circuit you love is COTA, and I know you love Austin as well. How worried are you about the news coming out that with the sort of government funding cutbacks, we might not go back?
Yeah, it hurts, or it hurt. Yeah, I heard a few things already, sort of the last few months, like, it's a little bit in doubt, or there's a few question marks. So I don't know. I'll start some form of, is it petition, or is that the word, to keep it. I feel bad. Like all the Australians are probably saying, "You're Australian, don't forget," But I mean, okay, Australia's got a bit of a secure future in Formula One now, so. I'll try and do what I can to help out Austin. For me it's awesome, and I know all the drivers love it, so yeah. Otherwise I'll plan holidays and keep going back there. I don't know, but I want to race. I want to race there, so we'll do what we can. I'll try and help out if I can, one way or another.
Just one final one. I know you got to get taken right. New engine this weekend. Hopes for it?
So we, I think it's cool that we're trying it out. 2 races left. I think we've got to try something. Just even if it puts us in some sort of swing for what to do for next year. Apparently at the moment, Renault's playing it down in terms of they're looking at a 10th, maybe 2 at the most. So if they say 2 at the most, it's probably more like a 10th. But if we can find something from it, then anything we find is positive. Is it worth 10 places? Who knows? But I'm willing to obviously give it a go. Cheers.
Lewis Hamilton arriving just behind us here in Brazil. The focus of a lot of media attention this weekend. Admitted just last night through an Instagram post he'd been involved in a bit of a car smash at home in Monaco. I think that's one of the reasons why he's so late turning up, with the hordes and throngs of photographers around him. Of course, the reigning world champion, 3 times now a world champion. Can he win here in Brazil? He would love to do it, of course. His hero Ayrton Senna, so loved by the crowds here, and Lewis would love to take a victory right here in Interlagos. Anyway, that's your lot from Paddock Pass. Here are the times where you can catch everything this weekend from Interlagos. Also, don't miss Off the Grid, a special coming to you from Austin. It's 11 o'clock tonight, repeated throughout the weekend, 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. All those times, of course, Eastern time. We ride a horse each through the paddock. It's great fun, and a mechanical bull. Anyway, that's your lot. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.